morning, YouTube. I am just checking in with y'all because I've been off for a couple of days, at least off of YouTube. Y'all, my mom is back in the hospital. It's not even been a full week since her last visit. Um, she's having the same issue. So last time she was in the hospital, she had fluid removed from her lungs. Well, this time the fluid had built up in her stomach. This fluid that's on her stomach is coming from the cancer. The cancer is leaking. It sits in her stomach, and so she has no control over when it happens, how much comes in there, none of that. And it is the hardest thing to watch is to see your parents suffer. So what happened was the day before yesterday, I was at work and she called me to tell me that she was in the emergency room. Plus, I had gotten a call from the hospital stating that she was there. I was at work finishing up some last minute things um, for my a project that was done yesterday, and I told her, I asked her what happened. I could tell she was struggling to breathe, and she told me that. And then I said, well, I got to finish these things up. I knew she was in the emergency room, and y'all know how emergency rooms go. I don't care what city or state, it's slow, especially if they're busy. So I told her as soon as I finished up the things that I was doing, I was going to be up there. And got up there, y'all. They had my mom in the emergency room, but not in an actual hospital bed. They had her in a waiting room inside of that room. So she had been there for a few hours. When I walked through the emergency room, I saw that there were a ton of people in there. I mean, it was crowded. And so I knew this was going to be a long process of even getting her in, even though they brought her in by ambulance. So I sat there waiting with her, y'all, from 4 o'clock in the evening the day before yesterday until 5 o'clock in the morning um, yesterday morning. And I had to leave that morning because, and at this point, they had just barely gotten her into a bed um, in the emergency room. So she waited in that waiting room. And when I tell you this was uncomfortable, I had to go home. Thank God I live right up the street from the hospital. I had to go home, get her a comforter because those thin hospital blankets weren't working for her. She was freezing. She couldn't get comfortable. I tried to pull two couches together to make her comfortable. No matter what I did, nothing was working, y'all. And this is where your faith gets tested because you have to realize that it ain't about you um, when you're with somebody who's got a terminal illness. It is not about you. They're trying to do everything they can to be comfortable, and they're struggling to do that. And so my job at that point was to try to get her comfortable, which I did eventually. But the mistake I made was she wanted to get on the floor because the couch wasn't comfortable, and I struggled trying to get her up. It was so hard. The moment that she hit the floor to try and lay down on this little pad that I made out of the comforter, she couldn't get up, y'all. And it took every ounce of strength, which is why I know I made a great decision putting her in the nursing home because I couldn't do that every single day. But anyway, so I went on to work. Well, I left from there. I went home, made some coffee. Usually I get to work at 7 o'clock. Yesterday morning, I didn't get there till about 8. And the reason why is because once I got home, I sat on the couch while the coffee was brewing and fell asleep, y'all. I had Girl Scouts coming to my job, and I did not want to let these girls down. This was months of planning. The event was going to be for 2 hours. It ended up going a little over those 2 hours, but it turned out to be a great event, and I stayed there for more than half a day yesterday, and I went home and I took a nap for a few hours, and then went back up to the hospital last night to visit my mom. She appears to be doing better. She had the fluid drained off of her stomach, and today, I'm on my way to work now, but today she's going to possibly have some tubes inserted to her so that the nursing home could now drain this fluid so that she doesn't end up in the emergency room anymore or at the hospital. So for those light fixes, they're not light, but you get what I'm saying. Is for those things that are not severe emergencies, the nursing home would feel a little bit better about being able to drain that fluid. Because what the doctor will do, and I won't know till I get up there later on today. They're going to put those tubes in her with a valve on it so that they could drain that fluid into a bucket, and then they're going to monitor her for a bit. So I don't see her leaving the hospital until tomorrow or the day after, but I'll keep y'all posted. But anyway, I just wanted to say I hope you're having success. For those of you who are grieving, I'm always going to come back to that. I hope that you are doing okay. I know this has been a rough journey for you, especially for those of you who are freshly going through the process of losing someone. Today, I wish you blessings. I wish you peace of mind. I wish you joy in your heart. And I wish that you cherish the memories of the person that you lost. One of these times, I'm going to do something really special, and I want you guys to participate. I want us to have an online candlelight visual for the person that you love and that you lost. And I think it's going to be the beginning of a mindset shift for you, because you got to be able to have that mindset shift in order to move further through your journey. And so I'm praying for you. I'm going through a lot, but it's not about me. It's about my mom. And so as I'm going through this phase of my healing journey, I'm dealing with that by the grace of God. And so that's the way I want you to start thinking about your issue with your loss. And really, it is your issue because you're the one who's going through all the emotions behind it. But let me just tell you, you're going to get through it. It's going to feel like you're not going to get through it. It's going to feel like there's so much pressure on you. But you can do this. You can absolutely do this. You're stronger than you think you are. You're capable of doing more than you think. And if you just allow yourself to have that moment of clarity, it's going to be a game changer for you. But if you're one of those people that struggles and your emotions are all over the place, that is going to intensify what you're feeling. And so I will tell you that the moment I decided that I did not want to keep wallowing in my sorrow, that's when I started to see strength. And so I want you guys to get there. Please be at your own pace. Don't feel like I'm pressuring you. I'm always going to say that because everybody grieves in their own different way. I'm just giving you simple thoughts and simple tools to help you to get to a place where you're in peace. A year from now, where do you see yourself going? How do you want to live? What do you see yourself achieving? If the person who was the provider is gone, what do you need to get into place right now to help you so that you can take care of yourself? Because you got to start thinking about that immediately. That's not something you can put off unless that person had money in the bank or they had a good insurance policy or whatever the thing is that they left behind, a retirement plan. You got to start sifting through those things. And when you sift through those things, look at what it's going to take for you to live. Is your house paid off? If your house is not paid off, how are you going to make that mortgage payment or that rent, whatever you're into? Your electricity, food. Do you have enough resources to come in to help you? So I keep dropping those nuggets because these are all the things I had to go through in terms of getting through my process, and I'm still in it because I'm battling those things and what happened to my mother, um, and so these are things that you got to think about handling immediately. Is how you're going to provide for yourself, how you're going to get through this rough patch and be okay. All right. I'm almost to work, guys. I just wanted to pop in just so you know that you have love and you have support every single day on this planet. As long as I'm here, I am with you. I am your sister who is going through my healing journey, but I've been there. I've lost my husband. I've lost my daughter almost 20 years ago, and life is different. But I'm trying to help whatever that means for you. Okay? It's going to be different. It's not going to be like when the person was here. And if it's in the case of you losing your income, you got to figure out, first of all, you're awesome and you can provide for yourself, especially those of you that have a particular skill set. How can you use that skill set to go to your next career or your next business opportunity? Okay, that's what I need you to be focusing on today. With that said, you guys have a blessed, wonderful day. I'm happy for you. I'm happy to see you growing. And in the comments, if you are struggling through something, tell me what you're struggling through so I know how to help you. I can create content that will help you to get through that thing. All right, you guys have a blessed, wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.